Well, it actually was a pretty clean winter by historical averages. 2013, as you probably remember, was a very dirty winter. This winter, we got a little bit of a reprieve. So that's kind of the way it works. Our air quality is heavily influenced and driven by meteorology, so it does tend to be very different from year to year, and also it's very episodic even during the year. During the winter time, everybody's knows we get they're actually temperature inversions. They're just a meteorological phenomena, just like rain or snow or anything else. And it's when you get hot air capping a cold pool, the emissions that are held in that cold pool, and since it can't go anywhere, they're trapped on the sides of our mountainous terrain. They just build up. At this point of control on emissions, we still have about 50% coming from cars, maybe 30% coming from area sources, maybe a little more, and the balance coming from what we call point sources or large industrial sources. It kind of depends on the level. I mean, we start calling bans on wood burning and things like that when we just begin to approach what might be considered harmful for people who already have asthma or the sick or elderly, the very young, that sort of thing. The healthy person is not affected too much. But as the inversion stays in place, the levels can rise, and then they get to be a level that's unhealthy for everybody. And so it kind of just depends on how long the inversion stays in place and the kind of trapping, how strong the inversion is. Well, it's tough. I mean, we are to the point where we're asking people to change their individual behavior, and that's hard because there's so many of us, for one thing, and two is it's easy to make the other guy do something. It's harder to make ourselves do something. So, I mean, we have various amounts of success depending on the program. The more we can get people out of their cars and onto mass transit, the better. And I think by the same token, UTA feels the same way, both from an emission standpoint, but also from a congestion road building standpoint. And we're not trying to brag, or we're not saying mission accomplished or anything, but air quality is getting better. And that's quite a statement in light of the fact that, the population has really been, growing and that sort of thing. There are a lot more cars, there are a lot more people. So we can feel pretty good about that, but of course we're not done. We've really tried to tie in with the academic side of the situation by pulling in universities in the state and other academic research organizations, because we want to leverage their capabilities, whether it's engineering, meteorology, social sciences, or health. All of those have been working with us pretty intensely over the last couple of years, and I think that's been very effective. It's not just the Division or Department of Environmental Quality carrying the message about pollution. Now it's getting to be everybody's message, and that's been a good thing.